All right. Hello, hello, hello. Mahjong. First, let's see. I didn't claim. I always like to claim my free revival coppers every day. Let's just do that real quick. No, gotta do the full 60. Okay. Well, there we go. Didn't do that yesterday, so I want to do that before the timer. Yeah, let's get right into it. Jade room, 4-player south. I'm unsure whether I'll be streaming to YouTube in the future or whether I'll just do that on Twitch like I have been, but trying something new. We'll see how it works. All right. I like that this match is just like mirrored across the two sides. Because these two are the same character. Me and the player across me are the same character, even if we're in different outfits. Drop that. This could be Chitoy. But I might want to try for Toy Toy, because I would love to get this west. I might not worry about either if I can get the west. Yeah, I think I probably won't be worrying about either, which means this 3 is very, very likely to go. Do I want to... I don't want to drop it just yet. Otherwise, I would have... Just in case of Chitoy, I want to be able to keep that possibility open. Okay, yeah, that 3 would be going. Otherwise, I would have liked to have kept that 9 for some safety. But, whatever. Thank you very, very much. Well, I don't really actually believe in the south because it is entirely out. I forgot, obviously, it's the door indicator, so thank you, Mahjong, for the nice reminder that there were none left when I saw what would be my weight. So I could have waited strictly on a 7-so if I wanted to, and had that Champon weight, that double pair weight, but I definitely trust the 6-so more, especially because I could get a 4-so, I could get an 8-so, be able to shift that into a nice 2-sided weight, possibly. But here I'm gonna have to make a decision. I think I'm gonna do this. I think I believe in a 4 coming out a little bit more. Any reason why? Not really. I guess, like, oh, thank you very much. Immediately rewarded for it. I was thinking for a second that if I had picked up a 1-so, then I would have just dropped it to leave that nice double Suchi, but also it's hitting me that I would have had Sanshoku if I kept that 1-so. If I, of course, that imaginary Sanso that I'm entirely making up that situation. But if I had drawn that, then I would have had Sanshoku, and I probably would have just dropped the 5 anyway. So I want to check something real quick. Make sure... Oh. Do that. I did post this in the right place, right? Yes. Okay, cool. All right. I would love an 8-mon. That'd be fantastic. I don't really see myself getting much use out of that green. The 8-pin, the 2-pin. they're likely to go, especially because, of course, Dora 5. Like, even if I pick up a 3-pin or a 7-pin, I mean, I might just be tossing one of these anyway. Just to try to make use of that Dora. I think I'll keep that for safety. I'll look at the 2s as being my pair. It means that I will have to get an 8-mon in here. But it gives me a nice defensive tile to be able to discard later. I mean, that does help. I probably dropped the 8-pin here, and I think that I do. I gotta take my turns faster. I'm getting low on time there. Yeah, that can just go. And also, I don't know why I didn't just disable calls earlier. I should have done that, but do it now. I think I still do this. If I picked up a 3, then this could be a 1-2-3 with a 4-5 setup, but I think I trust the Shanpon possibility a little bit more than, like, having both of those groups waiting on that 3. And there we go. So the real question becomes, am I looking for an 8-mon? Or am I looking for a 4? Okay, well that answers that. I will shut the fuck up. Because obviously, just being able to keep that door, that's huge. That's a lot of extra value. I'll keep that south for safety. That 9 can go right now. What am I worried about for my opponents? Let's see. Toyman hasn't dropped a single pin tile. Neither has the Shimacha. The Kamicha... I don't trust late pin tiles from them. Yeah. Another 4. That could be a 2, 3, 4, 4, 5 if I want to go for Pinfu, but that would require dropping these. I just don't think I take that. I'm not willing to drop the Dora here. Like, not even just for value, but like, it's a scary tile to discard. Do I Ricci waiting on the 6? I don't think I do, honestly. Not with 12 tiles left, I don't think I do. I just don't see that coming up. If someone else had Ricci'd, then I think I would. Because then they can't play safely against it, but like... This late, these opponents are going to be very, very hesitant to drop anything new already. But especially if I call Ricci. I don't think this is that dangerous. Shows what I know. I guess that makes sense. This player's only, like, middle Mon discards came, like, pretty late, so... I should have been paying attention to that part. Hey, I'm still in first, though. That's all that matters. Could be a Chitoy. It could be a Honitsu. How much do I trust the Honitsu? Because the answer really, I think, is just that I don't. I think it's just way too obvious. I typically have to cut out a lot of efficiency, like I would have had to cut that 5 and that 3, but obviously I didn't know I was going to be drawing those. I'll just cut this, that's fine. And get rid of all those. Who needs Yakuhai? Plus also by keeping this 5, the door is right next to it. There's a much better chance I'll be able to get that value. Yeah, who needs Yakuhai? Get that out of here. We don't need that. Fuck these dragons. Get them out. 6, 7. I think this 2 is... really, I should just drop this 8 first. This isn't safe against this, but nothing really is. My chances were pretty decent that that would succeed, so... 6, 7, 8. The big thing was I wanted to keep this for later. I'll drop a 6 here, yeah. I don't see you going for that. The only information I have from this play really is the So tiles. Everything else is just a mystery. Do I trust the 1 and 2 pin? I trust it more than the 3-mon. I really don't trust the 3-mon right now. Suji from the Dora, it's very, very easy for them to have gone for a 4-5 waiting on 3 or 6. Though 2 5s out and I have 1 in my hand, they would have to have the last one if they were doing that. So I think that it does make this 3 pretty safe actually at this point, now that they've dropped this. Oh, that is Tenpai. 1 pin, 5 pin. Call me a fool, I think we can hit Pinfu. No, this is dumb. This is dumb. Because if the last 1 pin comes up right now, then I'm fucked. On the other hand, we hit Pinfu. Oh, that's furry 10. What am I doing? I'm a fucking fool. I'm... Chat, I'm dumb. Wait. Oh, but okay, thank you, timer. The timer saved me. If it weren't for the timer, this 1 would have gone out. So I'm not a fool because it worked, because I was very smart in using up all of my time earlier. I'm very good at this game and not bad at all. Let's see. It's not looking fantastic here. Just kind of want to play this hand straight right now. Okay, that's huge, because now I can actually call tiles. Which means I would love something around here, something around here. Something around either of these is almost definitely going to be showing up, just like that. Let's go ahead, drop that 9 first. 1 pin goes next. Or green dragon. I get rid of the Hatsu first? I probably... You know what? I probably do get rid of the Hatsu first. Not that it's some huge decision. Plus the 1 pin now is actually very, very safe. 100% against these two, and you know, this player, their early 2 pin drop, that tells me it's likely going to be safe against them as well. Which makes me question... We have enough groups. So I wanted to keep this more so for safety than for the 3-so possibility. But of course, you know, the 3-so possibility, that's also nice. Having that extra efficiency attached to a safety. Thank you very much. Okay, now... Yeah, now this goes. 1 pin goes next. Or 1-so? It depends. Obviously, it depends on what I pick up. Obviously, if I pick up, like, a triplet in there. No, okay. So we do that. I trust the 3-so to drop more than the 6 pin, or the 6 mon, I mean, so that's why I was keeping this over that 5 there. Not to mention, of course, this just makes a much better defensive tile to drop, so if the 7 mon or 2-so comes out, then I'd much rather drop this 1-so than this 5. I don't think I take that. Is it more efficient to keep? Probably. Probably. Actually, I'm not even necessarily sure on that. This is a little scary. Hang on. I don't think it deals in right now. I was thinking for sure that somebody would have called Pon, but it didn't feel like anyone was going to be able to call that just yet. For Ron, anyway. Alright, drop that. I think it is pretty likely that somebody drops a 7 mon. Maybe not the Kamicha. It very much depends on what's in their hand, but that late 5 tells me that they, you know, were probably going for tiles around that. Who knows what it could have been. 7 mon, Suji from the 4. Both of these players I think could drop it. I'm gonna go ahead. I will trust that more than dropping the 2-so. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I think I trust this first. I want to get rid of my dragons early before anyone else can use it. I don't think that I necessarily need to worry about Yakuhai here. So I'd like to just drop these before dropping myself. Keep that as just more of a safety for later, because chances are it's going to be safe for later. The 8... The 8 is tempting because it could... Oh, hang on. That would be too many groups, though. Not necessarily. It could be a Sanshoku, a 789 Sanshoku. Because 1 group, 2 group, pair of 3s, 3 group, and then if I get something else around here. Of course, the chances of that happening are very, very slim. But it's nice to leave that option open. I was thinking about keeping south for safety there, but the fact that it hadn't been dropped yet, I'd rather just drop it now. No, I can't be calling tiles right yet. Not unless I get something around this 8. I'm going to go ahead and drop this 4 because I want to guarantee that my Doras are a pair. I don't want to have to get rid of one later. It's much less efficient to drop that 4 than other tiles in my hand, but I'm not worried so much about the efficiency there. The value of the Dora is... it cannot be understated. I'm gonna give up on the Sanshoku. Could be Ipeiko. Only reason I'm doing this over keeping that for the possibility of, no, not the only reason. There's a lot of reasons to do this over that, but like, one reason is just if I want to pick up a 3-pin. Like if I just happen to draw into a third 3-pin, that would be huge. I would love that. I wouldn't be able to do that if I were going for Sanshoku. Come on, hurry up. I want to see what next draw is. Oh. Hurts a little bit, but that's okay. So it goes. Still wouldn't have necessarily guaranteed the Sanshoku. I still would have had to actually get, 7 mon, 8 so. 3 8s are out. I probably do just drop this and keep that Shanphone weight. But I don't need to do it right now. It's 100% safe against these players, so I could drop it whenever. It's only dangerous against this player, which means that I am a little unfortunate, that it's a little unfortunate that they called Ricci. But it still doesn't look dangerous, especially because 3 8s are out. They would really have to have like the last 8 and one of the last 2 7s in order to really make use of that. Or they're going for 13 orphans, which, look at that first row discards. They're not doing that. Okay. So we're in Tenpai. 3-pin or 7-7. I don't need to call Ricci here. I don't really trust this Ricci, honestly. So I'm good with this just being a 3-Han hand, but possibly 4 if I get lucky. I think I just gotta discard that. Like, it was a little scary over here. It's a little scary over here. It's not like it's too bad. I'm definitely not discarding Dora there. You know what? This strong of a lead? I don't trust it. I just don't trust that 1-pin. I'll turn on calls in case a 3-pin happens to show up. That's why I didn't trust the 1-pin. I'm so glad that I hesitated. Oh. I came so close to discarding that. That would have been real bad. Thank you for stealing from them and not me. All right, east screens. I'm sitting pretty with this hand. This 1-so can go. South almost definitely goes. It will be going later, almost surely, unless I pick up a second. But these will likely go. This I want to hold on to just for basically as long as possible, just more so for safety. I can easily call tiles here. Drop the more dangerous ones first. That's not going to be an issue. It's not bad. I'd prefer it to be one of these, but you know what? I'm certainly not complaining. I'm in the lead. My goal right now is more so just to move the game forward. This hand, I mean, it just kind of plays itself, honestly. Now the question becomes, if I get the chance to call Pwn on these, do I take it? And then, do I maybe try to push for a Honitsu? I think the answer is no. That even though that is much more valuable... Okay, well now I would call Pwn. But I think that even if the Honitsu is much more valuable, I'm not really worried about that so much again. Because, like, yet again, I'm in first. The big thing is I want to move the game forward. I'll hold off on dropping the 2. The 5 at least had half Suji, which isn't saying much, like, at all, but it was something. The 2, there's just no information on. I think this is actually probably pretty dumb. I probably shouldn't be folding here because they're the dealer. If they weren't the dealer, I'd be fine with this. They could just win off whoever, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure, go ahead. Well, obviously not me, but anyone else. But because they're the dealer, them winning won't move the game forward. Okay, and that 2-mon would have passed earlier as well. So, yeah, I think I'm a fool for folding the way that I did there. I think that was way too much. What I'm really hoping for is that one of these 2 pushes and takes the hand with just a small hand. I mean, even if it's pretty sizable, as long as they take it off this player, preferably, or each other, as long as it's not me. Okay. It was a bit interesting to me that, like, I hadn't seen the last one of these yet, because if I had a triplet, somebody else at best could have a single one. And I guess I was expecting them, I guess, just to, like, have that and be keeping it out of fear that it would deal in. But obviously it just not having, it was still in the wall. So, like, that obviously explains that. Let's drop all these because they are 100% safe unless somebody was just happened to be going for 13 orphans, which, again, I don't think I really need to consider that possibility. Yeah, and the 6-0 that I had, which would have been the other dangerous tile early on, also would have been safe. So, oh well. Again, I shouldn't have really folded the way that I did, but whatever. That's a good pickup. I'm looking at the possibility of Pinfu here, and that's why I was holding off on discarding that for just a second, because I was trying to think if I would maybe rather discard my East early, which could, you know, not only possibly uh, slightly increase my chances of getting Pinfu just by getting a pair elsewhere, um, but also just getting it out early before opponents could use it. But I think Pinfu is basically dead at this point. Unless I pick up a 4-pin and then just pick up a pair immediately after. Which could happen, technically. So, like, keeping that possibility open. Okay. This could also be Tonyo. Which means I could call on 3, 4, 5 and just drop this, go for the 2. Nine Pandora, not likely to help me. I was hoping you wouldn't call Richie. All right, I'm looking back at Pinfu again. If I can get a 1 or a 2-so, then that would be Pinfu setup. The 2-so is 100% safe against both of these. Not so much from the Kamicha, but if I drop it soon, that's not really going to be an issue, most likely. How much do I trust the 1-so? Because I'm considering dropping that instead. Not when this player's dealer. Not when they're so close behind me. Now that this player's called Richie, I think I'm okay with just folding this hand. And I will. I could consider dropping this. I could consider dropping this 1 because this 4 passed, but because there's not a single other 1-so out, I think that somebody might just have a Shanpon wait. So I don't really trust that. They did have a pair of 1s, but they were not waiting for that, so. Unfortunately, that is going to push them past me. Which, frankly, they deserve, because their first round as dealer, I really, really should have pushed a little bit more. Now this is a hand that I'm immediately thinking Pinfu, which is why I dropped that too. Well, I shouldn't say that's why I dropped that too, because what else am I going to drop with this hand? Everything looks fantastic, honestly. So it would be best, of course, to be a 7-mon. That would have Pinfu set up. But if I get something around here, then this 6-8, or well, I guess the 8 and probably 3 would end up dropping. Yeah. Start with this. That way if I pick up a pair in here, then I can drop these and maybe have Tanyao. I would hope to have Tanyao. But that's very much a maybe. We just re-TPing through this. Shout out to Autorone. Now, who do I think is most likely to deal in Mage-Shop? Obviously, because they've already dropped one. They're pushing their hand. They've called tiles. If they pick up another 9, so they're just going to drop it. Most likely. The Toyman also very well could have, just because low on points, needing a push to get to first, but I didn't think they necessarily would have right then. But this was the best chance for me to hit first, so I'm thankful that it was this player. I like most of this hand. Well, I was going to discard the 1. Now I think I got to discard this 8. This 9 so I think is very likely to go. Which I guess means that this 1 pin is also very likely to go, because then these would almost certainly be my pair. But if I pick up a 3 pin, then the 6 is going to be my pair and could have 7, 8, 9. I just like the Ipeco chance that this otherwise gives. I like the Ipeco chance. It cuts efficiency a bit, but I also don't necessarily trust dropping the 7. I could very easily pick up a 6 or an 8 and swap out this 1 and 2. Because this 1-2 group, it's not good. It's fine, but like it's not good. Okay, so I'm assuming they're going Honitsu. I don't need the value that this brings. I want to drop that before it gets any more dangerous. I assume that they probably weren't in Tenpai yet, but they definitely... they're getting close. Yeah, at this point, I'm just going to say that those 2 is going to be my pair. I'm looking either to build off of this 7 or to just pick up a 3-mon. I guess the best tile I could pick up obviously would just be a 3-mon and just be able to push the game forward, but like if I pick up a 6-mon, that would be huge as well, because then there would be a shot here of a 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku, and it would be Tanyao. It's not exactly the tile I was looking for, but you know what? I'm taking it. I'm a little bit worried about that 1 over here, just in case they're sneakily trying to go for a Chanta instead of Honitsu, but I'm sure they're going Honitsu. Yeah, so this is not going to be the Sanshoku, but this could be... well, this is going to be Pinfu. It could be Tanyao. This player's going to have a tougher time defending with those 2 cold groups. They very, very easily could deal in. And they do. Unfortunately, it's not Ippatsu just because of the call on my 2-mon, but hey, that's fine. That is going to end the game with me taking 2nd place, but I'm okay with 2nd. It's a very strong 2nd. All right. Set myself up for another match. Oh, big stretch. Actually, oh shit, I should cancel real quick. And never mind. I was thinking about maybe going to use the bathroom real quick, taking a quick little break, but I'll do that after. Alright, let's see. 2 cat girls. Master 2 is the highest. Not that that necessarily means a ton, but let's see. Go ahead and drop that. This hand, I'm not really liking the shapes too much here. That will change if I pick up one of these. So right now that's kind of what I'm looking for. But I guess if I pick up something next to this, or if I pick up a 7-mon, then this could end up as Pinfu. It's not quite what I was hoping for, but you know what? I'll absolutely take it over the Yakuhai. Oh, my hair's getting in my eye a little. Let's move that back. Of course. So it goes. Now I'm just keeping this one for a little bit more safety and trying to drop the others before opponents need them. I wasn't planning to make use of any of them, so that's fine. Actually, wait, what am I thinking? I was thinking for a second this was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is very much not. So Pinfu is not likely here. This could still be Tonyao if I pick up a 4-cell. So I could call tiles. It would require this player to drop a 4 for me though, which I don't know that they would be willing to do. They might be going Honitsu. Speaking of Honitsus, I'm also worried about that over here. That's very helpful. I think I will start leaning myself a little bit toward Tonyao. I would love a 5-pin. That would be huge. A 4-cell, of course, would also be huge. So now I can get rid of one of those 2 groups if I would want. I'm gonna get rid of this 2 and 3. Because this could be a pair of 6s, a 6, 7, 8. That helps a lot for figuring out both the pair and one of these sequences. Instead of trying to figure out whether it's going to be one or the other. I probably should have dropped this too, again, just before it gets any more dangerous. I'm especially worried about it to my left. The 5-so did recently pass. Okay, cool. So they were not going Honitsu. I'll drop this now. I'll keep the 1-so for safety. I don't think the Toyman would go for it, but maybe. All right. I'll call. Never mind, I won't call Bone there. The Tonky wait 6-pin, huh? You could have waited on anything. You chose to wait on the 6-pin. Good for you for knowing that that was going to come out. Triplet of reds in the starting hand. That's always huge. Would have been fantastic if they were triplet of greens because of the Dora, but you know what? I certainly can't complain. I'll hold on to my south here. My 2 9s are definitely the worst things in my hand. They're going to be going very, very quickly. This could end up as cheat toy. Do I think it will? Probably not. But definitely can. How safe do I feel this 4-pin is? Do I push for a 1-on hand here? I mean, it's not like I have safe tiles anyway. I guess I do in the reds if I wanted to completely fold. But luckily the 4-pin passed. So I'm in Tenpai waiting on 7-pin or 6-so. I think the 6 is much more likely from the tournament at least. Over here as well, kind of. It's got half Suji on the 9, but like that's not saying much. So they could drop it, they might not. God, these are just getting more and more dangerous. I don't expect the Toyman to have a big hand if they do want to call Roan. I was hoping it would have been the Toyman and not you. But you know what? 1-han. That's fine. You can win your 1-han hand. I am glad that that was just Richinomi. Alright, alright. If I could pick up 7-pin, I'd be pretty happy. This could end up as Painfu. 5-so would be great. It's not bad. I really just need that 7-pin, frankly. Or, you know, that helps for sure. I would need the very last one, but that's not too unlikely to come out. If I do pick up 7-pin though, then I think I just drop these. Don't worry about the chance of these being on the dead wall or of other players being too afraid to drop it late. And just go for the Painfu chance. But again, that's very much determined by me drawing the 7-pin, or I guess the 5-pin as well. It could happen with that. But if I get the 5-pin, I'm just dropping this 8 immediately, you know? And then I'll figure out what to do after. Not a fan of that. Because I don't trust dropping the 6-8, I'm trusting in Dora. Or I'm trusting in, not Dora, in Painfu. I mean, I might be trusting in Dora if I pick up a 5. That is a possibility. Man, I don't trust pushing. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm gonna mute for just a second while I blow my nose. I mean, I could end up dropping a 9 here. Or, sorry. Never mind, hang on, I would have to think about what's been dropping it. I guess because that 5, I could have ended up dropping this 8 if I picked up a 7. And had that Pinfu still been able to continue pushing, but that is not how it played out, so. Okay. This is a strong start. Easy Tonyao. It's not too likely to be Pinfu, but that's fine. Not every hand has to be. I'll still gladly accept the Tonya Dora. I guess this could still be Pinfu as well, though, because, like, if I had picked up, say, a 5-so, then this would go, and then say that I picked up something next to this. Then I would recognize, okay, well, now I have Pinfu shapes. Now I can drop these 2s. Or these 6s if I really wanted to guarantee it, but I don't think I would do that. I think I'd rather leave myself up with that 3-sided setup. Okay. I'm thinking that this player's probably going Honitsu. Dropping all of these before a pin tile, it's... yeah. I would love to be able to keep that, but I've dropped that one earlier. That'd be risking furry 10. But, you know, dropping all these before that 2 earlier, that's... it tells something. And then their only calls being these. It wouldn't be surprising, at least. Because they gotta have another Yaku. This is not, you know, the South is not theirs. I'm gonna drop the 3 and 5. This could be a 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. If I get lucky, this could be a 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 with a pair of 6s. This could be neither, and I could end up with a Shanpone weight on 2s and 4s. Which would be fine, to be frank. Well, I say that. There's only 1 2-so left, and both the 4s are out. So maybe that wouldn't be fine. Alright, alright. I'll drop the 2 first, because that's going to be the most dangerous. Very slightly. Now, if I can get this 3 or 6 pin, I'd be very happy. Leave myself with a nice 3-sided group. Though maybe it would be better for me not to be waiting on so tiles, just because of my discards. I think that might be the case. I've only dropped the 1 and 9 pin. I'm not sure how my opponents would read that. And I think this player especially would have a tough time dealing in. I also don't think that this player's going Honitsu anymore, based on their later discards. This is just a mishmash of tiles at this point. They could be, technically. $12 tiles left. I really gotta look at calling tiles. Or I can just get that. 5, 7, 8. I'm gonna try to call in Ricci, even though there's only 8 tiles remaining. I think there is a good chance here still. It's not a terrible chance anyway. Or that can happen. Which is fair, honestly. They were going Honitsu, okay. My first call on that was correct. 9, that's not bad. I would love my easts if I could get my easts. I was thinking for just a second that, like, oh, there's a chance that this could end up as a Honitsu, but, like, no, I'm gonna want to keep that Dora. So I could go East and Dora, and that's it for my hand. I don't think that would be too thrilling, but there's a chance that that's how it ends up. I think that if an East comes out early, I probably don't take it. I probably want to try to call Riichi with this hand. I have two other pairs that are a little bit more likely to be paired. Man, maybe this isn't likely to be paired though, so maybe that's not correct. I was thinking about just like the fact that I'm making this into a two-sided setup. That's very nice, but I guess now I can just do that here and have basically the same. Actually, this is a little bit better. Green. I would like to keep that for safety if I can. I have plenty of, or I have enough groups. So I'm dropping this. And I'm keeping my Hatsu for just a little bit. Because I'd like to be able to keep this as safety for when somebody calls Riichi. I'm also not going to be willing to drop the 5-pin, so I might just drop this here soon as well. That 2-pin's going to be a little bit more dangerous, though, because nobody's dropped stuff around there. That's not how I wanted to call Riichi. I was hoping to get this out before that. I might be holding on to it now. We'll see. I think at this point I would call on Easts. Take just a small one-hon hand. That is 5, 6, 7. I would absolutely call on East, yeah. Five mon I really don't trust. I trust the 7-pin a little bit more. Like the 5 mon had half Suji, but again, half Suji, it's just nothing really. I mean, it's something, but it's small. Meanwhile, they had also dropped in a 9-pin and an 8-pin, which made me think, it might not be going for the 7. Okay. This hand's not looking bad. I like the tile groups here. If I can get a 6-pin, I'll be happy. If I get a green dragon, I'm happy, but I don't need it. Could be a nice pair. They have Yakuhai, so I gotta watch their discards pretty closely and see when they start discarding from their latest draw rather than from their hand. I am Ishantan. If I end up waiting on either the 6-pin or the 7-so, do I just call Riichi and just have Riichi only? I think I'd rather do that. That way I can now accept a green dragon. I guess, really, I could have dropped my greens there. And gone Tanyao. But I do also like the possibility of this being a 3-sided setup at some point. If I can get, say, a 4-mon. As in, strictly a 4-mon. Yeah, I'll take that. It's only one hon. which that's not great, but I think if an 8-mon comes up, then I should take it, drop this 7, and hope for, yep, I'm doing that, and hope for a red 5. But if a 2-pin comes up, then I think I just take that. I gotta push, I'm dealer. That's unfortunate. Oh, that's unfortunate. Y'all? This is not going well. I still have the whole rest of the game to try to catch up. But I really don't like my position right now. 79 Sanshoku is a possibility. Unfortunately, Chanta's not really, just because I would have a pair of 8s. But it could be Sanshoku and Haku. It's only 2 Han if it's open, which it probably will have to be open if I'm doing that. But if I can keep the hand closed... I'm doing something silly, by the way. I'm leaving open the possibility of a Chanta. I might get rid of these and look for a pair in here. Because Sanshoku, Chanta, Haku, you know, a 3 Han is better than 2. And that's if I have to open my hand, which I'm sure I probably will. In the off chance that I don't have to open my hand, that's huge. The Chanta's not necessarily dead, but like... I think it would be silly for me to drop this. Even if I've dropped that 4 earlier, which I am now very much regretting. How would I have that? Yeah, drop south. Okay, that helps a lot. I'll take that 7, 8, 9. I'll drop this because it's safe. And it also sets up a little Suji trap for me. That's unfortunate that they called that. Or they have called Richi. With my current positioning... Yeah. I thought so hard about dropping my 8 so instead. I'm just trying to find a foothold here to be able to catch up. This is another weird one that could be a 789 Sanshoku. This is another weird one that could be a 789 Sanshoku and a Chanta. What am I doing? Oh, this is bad. I'm playing poorly right now. Nah. But I think at this point I basically just gotta lean into it. I was thinking for just a second about like possibly using these as a pair instead of these and maybe getting Chunchon. It's such a dumb idea for what I'm doing anyway. I don't want to make it worse. Chunta's a bad hand. It is very inefficient. That said, it should leave me with a pretty decent amount of tiles that I can fold with if I need. Those as a pair. I got 2 other pair groups. You know what? I'm just gonna do that. Make it more likely to get 7, 8, 9 here, and I'm not calling that. Not just yet. I might call that later. But then that would probably just be a 1 Han hand if I do. That one, I admit, just full on should not have. Like, early on I shouldn't have done this. And then I started leaning into it because it was like, okay, well, because I've already dropped the 4, I might as well drop the 2, you know? Because I already dropped the 3, I might as well drop this 4. The 5 I just shouldn't have dropped. But we are fully leaning into it now. What really doesn't help is that 3 9-so are already out. I'm gonna need to get the last one if I want this to work the way that I'm trying to force it to work. Otherwise, I'm just building a bad hand for the sake of building a bad hand. Which means that I need one of us two to draw the 9-so for me to be able to call on it. I can't take that. This time I want to keep that 5 for just a second. It's a very... 14 tiles left. Yeah, and it's not going to work out this way. I was thinking for the small possibility of drawing like... If I drew like a... If I draw a 6 like that, then there is a shot, technically, I guess, that this can end up as a pure straight. But with 10 tiles left, it's just not happening. The best I can hope for is just to hit Tenpai. And I might be able to hit Tenpai, to be honest. If I can call off this tile, or if I draw it myself on this next turn. Alright. Well... No 10. Oh well. Good news is, I don't have to deal any points because no one was in Tenpai. God, not another hand that looks like a Chanta. Get this out of my face. Oh, I hate this. I'm in hell. Oh. I want to scream. I want to scream. I want to cry. Oh, God. This sucks, y'all. I'm not gonna lean into it as hard. I was thinking for just a second about the possibility of dropping these. I'm not doing that. Oh. Okay. That's something. What I'm looking for here, it's just gonna be Richi. Actually, it could be Richi Dora if I get a 3-mon. There's a small chance that these end up as my pair and that I don't end up getting that 3-mon, but you know what? If this ends... Well, I really gotta try to get that Dora. I gotta try to get that at least. This isn't gonna end up as a Chanta. I can drop that one. I'm not gonna worry about that. 4, 5, 6. Could drop one of my 8, 9s. I'm gonna drop the more dangerous one first. I don't think that, well, I say that. They're both really just equally dangerous, to be frank. The only real Montile of any significance that's been dropped is this 4. Which that really doesn't say anything. Okay. That's not bad. I could drop the 7 and look for a pair in here now. I don't trust the green dragon. I was thinking about dropping it now before it gets any more dangerous. But considering this player's threatening a Honitsu, I don't want them to be the one going for it. And they very well could be the one going for it. I think it's actually a little bit more likely. Oh, but that's Dora. The 3 is the Dora, right? I'm a fool. That's okay. It's not, but whatever. I'll say that it is for now. It's fine. Oh, it was not a Honitsu. Fair enough. Good news is, I didn't get last place. I'm out of hell. I can go pee. I'll be right back and do one more. One more time. Again, good news is, wasn't last place. That's mostly all I care about. That match was exhausting, though. Fucking Chantas, man. They were miserable. Okay, got a Saint in here. No real thoughts on this hand quite yet. I would love to get something in here. That's about it. There is... if I end up getting two things in here, small chance. Oh, you know what? I think that chance is dead at this point. I was thinking that if I were to get two things in here, then I could maybe consider a Honitsu. I think that would have been a little silly, but possibility. Should turn off calls though, because I'm not going to be able to call at least right yet. I don't trust that I'm going to get another Dora. And I want to get rid of that before anyone else has it. Still got basically no thoughts on this hand. I guess it could be Tanyao if I pick up a 3-pin. I'd need to find other groups. Well, I mean, that could make it Tanyao. A 2-3-4. It could be... this could be a 4-5-6, but then the problem there just becomes, what do I do with the 7-8? It's probably going to attach itself to a 9. It could actually be a pure straight if I get a 5 and a 9. Or I can just hit Tenpai and drop the 7 and go for the 3. And you know what? I'm doing it. Nope. Didn't get it. Oh well. Also, this player's name just makes me... It makes me feel like I'm watching Scooby. Like I'm watching Scooby-Doo. Misuchi Ruchiru. Good name. High tier name. So this hand is looking very nice so far. Could easily hit Tenpai. It's almost certainly going to be Tanyao. The only way that it isn't, I guess, is if I decide, if I pick up a 9-so and decide to keep it, and then pick up a 7-so. Small chance of that happening. Yeah, no, it's not. So this is going to be Tanyao. There is a chance here for Chitoi. Maybe. If I pick up like a 4-so, but like... I think even on a 4-so, I probably just drop this 8, to be honest. I probably just take Tanyao only. I would like to keep my hand closed if possible, and it looks like I probably can, I would assume. Because I'd like to be able to call Ricci with that. Because of the Tanyao, I don't think I keep that. I'm also paying a little too much attention to my own hand and not enough of it to my opponents, so I gotta pay a little bit more attention now. Mon-tiles look very, very dangerous to my left. And across from me, but especially to my left. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and drop one of these 8s. So I'm looking either to build off of this or to, you know, get something around here. It would have been nice to have had that for a safety tile, but at the same time, I cut too much efficiency by cutting, you know, any of these 3. Yeah, they're almost certainly in Tempai. Alright, speaking of being in Tempai. I'm going to hold off calling Ricci for a second. Because my discards are full of pin tiles. I don't want to call Ricci on that pin tile that I dropped from my hand. Because that's basically telling my opponents, hey, you know, this tiles around here are dangerous, and I don't want them to necessarily think that. I want them to think that tiles around here are dangerous, and that everything around here is safe. Which means that I would have also liked to have waited a little bit longer, if possible, and just actually dropped a tile from my hand, rather than from my latest discards, swapped out like that, but I'm happier with the Ipatsu that I got, so it worked out as best as it really could. I'll definitely drop south. I would love to get one of my dragons here. But if they have to go, they have to go. I was thinking about dropping this 8, but like if I pick up a 7 pin, if I pick up something next to this 3 so, then I could have Pinfu set up. So I wouldn't really want to drop those right yet. At this point I will, because I have all my groups. I would have liked to have picked up a green rather than that 2, but that's fine. I might end up looking for a pair in here rather than... You know what, actually I think I gladly take that. Yeah, I'll discard in here. I actually should have discarded the 5-6. That way my opponents I think would be a little bit more likely to drop the 1 or 4 for me rather than the 4 or 7. People tend to discard tiles on the edges of suits a lot easier than they drop tiles in the middle of suits. So could have been nicer to hold on to that than this, but that's perfectly fine to do it the way that I did as well. And you know what? I'm happy with this group because that means that I can now accept a green dragon as a triplet. I already could have, I guess, and then dropped this. Had a pair of 2s instead, but, you know, I don't want to ruin a group for that. Being able to take a green while moving my hand forward, it would be nice. I would like that. However, if I end up waiting... I can't take it. I was thinking for just a second on it. I was like, wait, no, this is dumb. I can't call that. Yeah, there we go. I can do that. Now, the 5 pin is going to be dangerous. It is actually going to be real dangerous. But I trust it. I trusted it for dumb reasons, but the dumb reasons worked. My dumb reasoning was because this player is a saint, because they have played this game an insane amount, that they know what their discards look like. They know that that's going to be hard to get the pin tiles that it looks like they need from their opponents, you know? And as such, they wouldn't want to be waiting on that. They wouldn't want to call Ricci waiting on those tiles. Now, of course, if they have a multi-sided wait, that reasoning goes out the window. Because you have a multi-sided wait, you can call Tsumo. Or you can hope one of your opponents is dumb like me and discards into it immediately. So again, my reasoning was very much not rock solid there. But it did have at least a reason, as bad as it was, and it worked. So maybe it was a good reason, actually. It wasn't. Drop this. Again, I'm looking for Yakuhai here. If I can get that, I'd be very happy. Though I guess I don't need it. I do have plenty of groups. If I can get an 8-mon, actually, that would be the best tile I could pick up. There is also a small chance of a 3-4-5 Sanshoku, but I don't really like the chances of that. I'll take that 4. It's fine. I guess, yeah, actually that 4 is pretty good, because if I pick up a 6, then this could end up as Tonyao. And that also kind of helps a little bit for Tonyao. At least it makes it so that way I can call pawn instead of necessarily needing that to be a 2 or 5. I think this is where I make my move. I think I'm going for it. Open Tanya. This is the bronze room, really. No difference between bronze and jade. What I would love is either a 6-mon... Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Now what I would absolutely love is for somebody to drop one of these, because that's going to be a much harder thing to get than this 3 or 6. Okay, I'll accept that, because now I could get a 3 or 6 mon. A 9-mon wouldn't work for me, because that would be... Hang on, let me think about this. I'd probably drop... Ooh, that's actually... I'm going to do this now before it gets any worse over here. I am a little worried of that dealing in. But I want to discard that just that way I'm not, like, facing that opportunity for Furry 10. Y'all gotta stop this. It was double Suji for both of them. That's why I was dropping that 4. Not that, again, that necessarily means that it's safe, but it's more likely to be safe. I was still worried about it just because it was not just one player's double reach or double Suji that I was looking at, but it was both of theirs. So if I was wrong on even one of them, then that would have dealt in. But luckily it didn't. Oh, this is a rough one. This is another Shantahan. I hate this. Oh. I'm dropping this off in the chance that this ends up being a Chitoi. I honestly think I probably should have dropped one of these two over here. Kept all my Yakuhai, but it worked out because I wouldn't have been able to make a triplet of those greens anyway. The best thing I could get right now, by far, would be Sanzo. If I get a 3-so over here, then I would have 4 groups set up. We're playing defense. Get rid of all the other plans I was making with this hand. We are playing defense. This hand is not making it. Hmm. Three nines out, 1 6 out, 3 8s out. It's going to be a little hard for this player to really use an 8, but they could still very much have a 6 7 8. They're going to have a much harder time using these ones because there's only a single one left, and now they've dropped that 4. So I'm going to drop these first, but I think the 8s are likely to be safe. So that could be another thing that I could look at for safety if I need. Funny enough, there is a chance that this still ends up in Tempai. I would need to draw another 3. Well, never mind. One's out here, another out here, another, and then the last one there. That's not happening. That's impossible, so... Because I dropped this 4-pin, I should have dropped this earlier. I definitely should drop this rather than the 1-pin earlier when I had that chance. But I'll drop that now. Okay, that's fine. I didn't deal in. They take the most points from the player cross. For me, I'm okay with this. Now this hand's looking nice. Yanshanten? Already got a triplet of dragons in my hand? I'm very happy with this. I don't need that 3. That's just not going to do anything for me. I guess if I picked up a 4, so then it could have left me with a double-sided pair weight, possibly, if I wanted to go over that double-sided pair weight. But I think I would have trusted waiting on the 9 rather than trusting not only in drawing, or not only in that double-sided pair weight, but in order to, but trusting as well in like drawing that 4 specifically. Now I should have trusted in that 9, but I still think this hand is pretty nice. I still think my chances here are looking pretty swell. 2-pin, I don't really like that. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That leaves me Ishanten. So I need 4-pin, 4-so, or 7-so to put me into Tempai. Man, I can't really call that. There we go. I could do this.
No.
That hurts. But not much else I really would have, like, my other opportunity was just entirely fold, right? Like, pushing there made sense. I don't really see any way around dealing into that hand. I should have thought a little bit more about calling pawn on that south. Because I'm south seat, it's the south round. That's 2 Han by itself. I'd like a lot more than 2 Han. But I mean, I should have at least thought about it. 4, 5. I don't like all my pairs. I'd rather something to build off of rather than having 3 different pairs. I don't know that that was necessarily the correct play, but it's what I felt most comfortable doing. Here, though, I think you just gotta discard that. It's either that or maybe discard the 9-pin pair, but I don't really like that. Because I like having that extra... I like having 1 extra pair because of these souths. You know, it would be nice to have a triplet of this and then a pair somewhere else. 2, 4, 6, that would be pretty nice. Unfortunately, I don't really have much to discard. I guess I could discard this 8 and look for getting something else on, you know, something else in here, whether it's like a 4, a 4, a 5, a 2, a 7 would be bad, but oh, there's the 7, unfortunately. I'm dropping my souths. I know that's like the big Yaku that I was like kind of gonna be leaning on. I just don't trust much else with this hand. I didn't trust the 2 and 4 when they called Ricci on the 3 and they hadn't dropped any other Mon tiles. And I don't really trust that 7 either for similar reasons, but 2 is at least completely safe for right now. I was thinking for a second about maybe a 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku, but, you know, then I drew this 5. This 2 ended up being safe. I think that it's just much better to do it this way. I gotta discard the 7. I gotta try to push with this one. This has a chance of being Ricci Pinfu if I can get a 3-so or 5-so. I would love somebody to discard the 2 or 6 before I have to get rid of them, though. If I have to, which I might not have to. I'll get rid of that 7 because I know it's safe, rather than the 1, which is just likely safe. $15 tiles left. Hardly any so tiles have been discarded this round. Oh, that's going to be dangerous. Well, we go for it, and it passed. 11 tiles left. Let's see. I think my opponent still could trust a 3 or 6 Mon with my discards. Oh, okay, thank you for passing. Come on. 3 tiles left. You might not drop it, but the Toyman still might. I think that was a fold from this player. They were thinking real hard on it. Okay. They probably had the opportunity to be in Tempai, but just decided to fold. Which makes sense. So, I'm dealer now. I have the... Have I... Well, never mind, that's right. They just keep over from the exhaustive draw. I don't think I was dealer last round, or I would have probably noticed that. But, like, this is my chance to catch up here. We are in the South rounds, so this would be my last chance to catch up here. My last real chance, anyway. That 3 is pretty nice. I kind of don't like dropping that 2-so, but just because like I don't like these two groups sharing a 3-pin. But since I'm going to be looking for a pair anyway, I could find it in one of these two or in this 9. It would make just as much sense, I think, as keeping that 2. Don't like that. In fact, I would like to go on record even to say that I hate that. That I would really prefer them to just take that Ricci stick back. Oh. And what sucks is if I did keep that 2, I would have had the 1, 2, 3. But I don't trust the 3, so I guess this player did drop a 6, so it would be Suji. I should have recognized that before dropping my 1-pin. Yeah, what I'm hoping for here is 1-mon or 9-pin. Get either of those and I have Pinfu set up. Both of them are going to be dangerous to discard though. 1-mon just because there's no real information on it, the 9-pin obviously because it's Dora. And none have been discarded. If some had been discarded already, then I could assume that this player doesn't have the Tonki weight for it, but unfortunately, there goes my big chance to catch up. It would help if I could actually click the button instead of just above it. I was not paying attention to where I was actually clicking. So now my whole mission is just last place avoidance. If I can get 10,000 points, in other words, if I get a Hanemon, or if 2 players call Ricci and I get a Mangon, then I'm happy with that. If I win off of this player, then I only need half of that. So I would just need like a 3 Han hand off of them. But I think either way I'm going to want to keep my Dora. This could be Tanya. And with the right tiles, this could be Tanya Pinfu. Oh, which makes me real hesitant here. You know what? I'm seeing something. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. 6, 8. We could get that Sanshoku. Tanya Pinfu Sanshoku? Maybe? Maybe? Surely the game's gonna reward me with the 7-mon. I can hope. Discard that. Alright. If this gets me the 7-mon, then that's it. That's my Sanshoku Pinfu. I would also need... Well, actually, no. I guess 2-pin would be able to pass. I probably should have dropped that there then rather than the 1-so. Well, maybe not. I am slightly kicking myself for having dropped my red earlier, but this is also fine, doing it this way, I think. I think it made sense in the moment, play what was safe at the time. I guess I say that it wasn't actually entirely safe. It felt safe enough to discard, but... Alright, 20 tiles left to pick this up. That guarantees Pinfu, at least, if I can hit Tenpai. Even though it won't be the Sanshoku that I would hope for, it still replaces some of that value just by being Dora. I'll do this. I'll deal with the Shampoo wait if I have to. Well, not. I guess I won't really be dealing with that because I mean I draw this 4/7, then I can easily drop this. I'm trusting Suji. Don't you dare. Thank you. Alright. I gotta hit Tenpai here. Unfortunately, oh, that hurts. I gotta call Pawn, like, right here, please. Nope. Okay. Good news is, that's not game. I thought it was gonna be game, but the game is extended slightly. Unfortunately, it's gonna be a little harder to actually make a dent in these players now. Slightly. Actually more than just slightly. I need more than a Honeyman now. There is a part of me that's looking at this as a Chanta hand. Thinking maybe I can find value there. I just don't think that's going to work for me. That was Dora. I should have kept that. Alright. Yeah, because the best I can really get with this hand is just Riichi, it's just Riichidora. That's it. Unless I discard these as my pair. Like if I get a 1-mon. If I get a 1-mon, I'd be happy to try for the Sanshoku. That at least gives me a bigger chance of Pinfu. Not that it's actually going to be enough to take third. Yeah, really, I am mostly just looking for the 1-mon. And even then, I would have to get a 2 afterward, which 2 of them are already out. What I'm saying is, I think I'm pretty fucked. I think I'm severely fucked here. Three 2s are out, so now that Sanshoku is... It's not technically dead. So I'm going to try for it. I was going to say, but it's basically dead. But hey, now that I've drawn that, I gotta believe. It's the only thing that can really save this hand. Richi, Sanshoku, Junchan, 6Han Hanimon, and Dora. If I hit Ura, then that would be a Baimon. That could be a big upset. It's all going to come down to that 2-mon, though, and if I can hit Tenpai. I gotta get this on Shoku. I just don't have the value otherwise. So I can't keep that 1. Not to mention, I trust my chances getting 3-pin a lot more than getting the last 1-pin. Oh, okay, and that's not going to be big enough. So, last place. Oh well. So it goes. So it goes. Listen, we did what we could there. Oh. Oh, big stretch. For now, I think that's it for today. Unsure again whether I'm gonna be doing this on YouTube or Twitch next time. But I'm thinking probably Monday at 3 Eastern. So, I'll see y'all then. Take care. Where's OBS so I can stop